This video will connect all of the Tears of the Kingdom trailers to unveil a hidden secret in the game. Spoiler warning, cause we will go over the source of Link's new arm power, who is this chick that looks like Zelda, and where does Ganondorf fit. But more importantly, where did Zelda go after she fell through that deep hole? You have been warned, so be sure to watch till the end. And also Nintendo, please don't hate me if I get all of this in my theory right. Let's start. Now let's take a look at this image right here from trailer 1. We have all these hieroglyphics that display a figure in the middle. Above the figure in the hieroglyphics are 7 tear-like objects. Now these must be corresponding with the tears that we can see Zelda and all the other characters carry in the trailers. But we can also see how these 7 tears also correspond with the 7 sages shown throughout the Legend of Zelda series. Like an Ocarina of Time where each sage is assigned to a different temple and each of them represent a different element. But now let's translate that to Tears of the Kingdom. The obvious tear holders that we clearly seen are Zelda and the 4 new champions, Sidon, Tulin, Riju, and Yunobo. We can also see in trailer 3 the arm of the person that is with Zelda right now, and on that arm is a tear. Starting with the Tear of Water, we have the champion of the Zora, Mipha's brother, Sidon. Sidon helped Link take control of the divine beast Ruta in Breath of the Wild, and in Tears of the Kingdom he will be helping Link using the Tear of Water. Next we have the champion for the Rito. Now Teba was supposed to be the champion to take after Revali, but this chicken leg got fried in Breath of the Wild. Taking his place will be his son, Tulin. And Tulin will be using the Tear of Wind. Now for the Gerudo, we have Riju, the new champion to take over the Musamami Urbosa. Rest in peace, Queen. You are missed. But Riju will be using the Tear of Thunder. Last is the Goron champion, Yunobo, descendant of Daruk and holder of the Tear of Fire. There isn't much clear footage of Yunobo, but he is there and I'll show you soon. We can see from the trailers that Link's mission is him getting an army together and finding the tears for the champions from each dungeon that show up, similar to when he fought the divine beasts. One of the great things that we can get in Tears of the Kingdom is that we can see more interaction with the new champions like we have in trailer 3. Here we have Link and Sidon fighting side by side, and Sidon is using Mipha's light scale trident. Instead of Sidon swimming in the water, we got our boy running on land or the Sky Islands, whacking monsters. Nice job, Sidon. Riju is fighting for the Gerudo, and we can see her using something close to Urbosa's fury. Look, she even had to spin like Link had to do in Breath of the Wild to call down the thunder. And when you take a closer look, Riju is also using 2 scimitars of the 7. It looks like she didn't really need the thunder helmet after all. Here we have our boy Tulin flying down with Link, fighting this weird ice centipede looking thing. If you look closely at Tulin, he is using Revali's great ego bow. He was probably able to take over for his old man after all that time in the flying range. I mean, just look at our boy. He went from this tiny ass little birdling to being damn near the same size as Link.
Okay, let's go!
Yeah, Tulin. I'll follow you to the depths of Hyrule and fight any ice centipede. Last, we got Yunobo. Now he has to be the last one to get a tear because he's the only Goron known to use Daruk's protection. He's also descended from Daruk. No other Goron makes sense. It's not like they're gonna throw Bluto into the trenches. Although you can't see Yunobo clearly in the trailers, he has to be one of the people running in trailer 3. Let's take a look at trailer 3 and slow it down. And look, see? Right there. You can barely see it, but there's Yunobo holding the boulder breaker. Anyway, next we have Zelda, who is clearly associated with the Tear of Light. In Breath of the Wild, she gave us the light bow, she comes glowing in light, and in Tears of the Kingdom, when she falls down the hole, it's the same light glowing as she falls. Now take a really close look at Zelda here, and compare it with the random chick that we've seen in trailer 3. You might be asking, who is this person? Well, to answer that question, let's go back to Breath of the Wild in the cutscene where you talk to the king.
We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path.
That's right, this person here is the person Zelda inherits her power from. The one that sealed Ganon years ago, with the original hero talked about in Breath of the Wild. But remember this tapestry that is used when the king is talking to you. We're going to be talking about it later in the video. So now we've gone over 5 tiers, and the 6th one has gotta be Ganondorf, the one that's on his forehead crown. Him having a tear explains his power of darkness and how he can summon Linos from the sky for Tears of the Kingdom. But now let's talk about this mystery dude with Zelda. We can see that this guy has a tear on his right arm, and it will connect deeper with Ganondorf in the overall theme of the game. This guy that is holding on to Zelda, talking to her, has the last tear, which is the Tear of Time. But why is it the Tear of Time? Let me explain and show some evidence and facts throughout the trailers. We know in Tears of the Kingdom, Link gets messed up and loses an arm when Ganondorf awakens. We also know Link gets empowered with this new arm strapped with new abilities. The most important ability to take note of is Recall. Throughout the gameplay that was shown, Recall is an ability that rewinds an object back along its trajectory path. In other words, Link is sending the object back in time like this rock here. Now Link's new arm and ability connects with the mystery dude using the Tear of Time. Take a look at the pattern of this mysterious dude's right arm with the Tear of Time. The pattern, or whatever it is very similar to the pattern on Link's new right arm, which also matches the pattern of the right arm glowing, the arm that is holding on to Ganondorf if we go all the way back looking at the E3 trailer in 2019. Yep, this arm right here, the one that is holding Ganondorf's pruny corpse. Also take note of what Zelda says in the second trailer here.
Please, lend him your power.
Please lend him your power. This ending scene in trailer 2 connects to the end of the E3 trailer where this arm that was holding Ganondorf down now grabs onto Link. We know it's grabbing onto Link because if we take a look, it is grabbing onto Link's good arm when we compare these two scenes. Link being saved also explains why we see Zelda falling into the hole in all these trailers. Link couldn't catch her in time. There is more evidence that shows the overarching theme in Tears of the Kingdom being time. Take a look at this scene here in trailer 3 with Link going back to Hyrule Castle. Now this for sure is not how the castle was supposed to look like how we saw it in Breath of the Wild. Look, here is how the castle looked in Breath of the Wild. All messed up. But in Tears of the Kingdom, Link just turned around to see a brand new castle floor and all of this magic glowing everywhere on the floor. I do have faith in Bolson's house flipping skills, but this is a whole ass castle. You're gonna need more than 3 people to fix all the damage that Ganon did. To further drive the nail in this time theme, look at the logo of Tears of the Kingdom. This logo has 2 dragons or 2 serpents eating their tails. And if you haven't seen this logo before or don't know what it means, it is a depiction of Ouroboros. The Ouroboros symbol symbolizes eternity and endless return, as well as the unity of time's beginning and end. Now let me ask you a question. Now that Ganondorf is back and looking stronger than ever, and the Master Sword to seal him is broken, where do you hide Zelda?
Link! You must find me.
The answer is in another time space, and that's where this mysterious guy comes in, the one that's with her. Zelda being held in another time explains why she can hold the Master Sword at the same time as Link and why they reach out to each other like this in trailer 2. But there is more, especially to Ganondorf, than we think, and it goes back to the tapestry that the king uses in Breath of the Wild. That same tapestry talking about the story that connects this chick to Zelda. But then who is the original hero? Well, the original hero is Ganondorf. Ganondorf took in the power of Ganon, and him being the hero explains why Calamity Ganon was able to control all of the ancient mechs and divine beasts. since Ganondorf was originally using the ancient mechs in his fight against Ganon and the lady when they worked together. This also explains why Urbosa says Ganon took the form of a Gerudo. Ganon and Ganondorf were separate beings before the return 100 years ago. But there's even more, which explains more of the time theme. Ganondorf here screaming in this trailer is different than the Ganondorf standing in the Blood Moon raising Hyrule Castle. They are both existing in separate timelines, and this is consistent with the time theme in the game. These two are the heads of Ouroboros that we see in the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom logo. The Ganondorf that is screaming is in the timeline that Zelda is at, and this dread-headed Ganondorf is the shriveled corpse that they find that is ruling over in the timeline where Link is at. Now really quick, let's go back to the hieroglyphs in Trailer 1. Right here is a carving of the princess floating, looking like they're dead, and another carving of the same looking princess, this time united with someone on the other side. The first princess floating is the lady that shoots the light in the trailers, the one that Zelda inherits her power from, and the original princess that was working with Ganondorf years ago to fight Ganon. And the second princess standing up is Zelda, who is with the Tear of Time holder, waiting for Link in the other timeline. Now we have Zelda waiting for Link in one time, and Link building up his forces to wreck the Ganondorf so that they will simultaneously end the Ouroboros cycle. Tears of the Kingdom drops in little over a week. I will be streaming it on my Twitch, twitch.tv/babathebrown. You can follow me on my IG where I'll post on my stories when I go live. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and sub. I appreciate all the support. And have a nice day.
Shiny teeth that twinkle just like the stars in space.